There's plenty of people on IMVU who often pretend to be someone or something they aren't. I've met my fair share of frauds, but none come close to the guy who pretended to be the real Michael Jackson. In the IMVU Michael Jackson community, there's plenty of Michael Jackson avatars and there is plenty of competition, when there really shouldn't be. But one guy stood out from the rest with his outrageous claims. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of Michael Jackson or part of the IMVU community, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on all my socials. And hey, if you're on IMVU, add me as a friend under Michael Jackson. Alright, today's story is a wild one. We're talking about the fake Michael Jackson of IMVU, one of the strangest impersonation stories I've ever come across online. Now, if you've been on IMVU for a while, you know there's tons of people who roleplay as Michael Jackson. Some do it out of love, others for fun, but every now and then, you meet someone who takes it way too far. I've met my fair share of frauds, but none come close to the guy who genuinely tried to convince people he was the real Michael Jackson. Let's call him MJJ Believe 777. At first glance, he looked like a basic MJ avatar. Pretty standard, chill dude. But then I started hearing stories that he was telling people he was actually Michael Jackson in real life. First, I laughed it off. I thought, no way people are falling for this. But then, I realized he was actually convincing people. He had this manipulative charm about him. When I finally spoke to him, things got weird. He got upset that I didn't believe him, like, full-on offended that I dared question his identity. That's when I knew something wasn't right. Then one of my old friends, who had joined his family, told me, "You don't think my father is the real Michael?" I was shocked. I literally didn't know what to say. That's when it hit me, this guy wasn't just role-playing. He had people believing his delusion, or as I would later realize, his scam. It turns out he would often get gifts and credits from his family. Essentially, they were spoiling him and feeding his inflated ego. I was irritated by this guy, and luckily, I wasn't the only one upset. A lot of people tried to call him out, but instead of owning up, he secluded himself with his little group of followers, people who still believed his lies. He barely went anywhere outside his own rooms. Every time I confronted him, he'd back himself into a corner and just vanish. I even went to the so-called head of the MJ community at the time, blushing again. May she rest in peace. But she basically told me to drop it and let him be. Still, something felt off, and I wasn't done digging. A mutual friend eventually found out and gave me his real name, and when I brought it up to him, he tried to play it off like I was talking to his bodyguard. Like, "Oh, you want to speak to such and such?" Yeah. I had to laugh at that one. Fast forward a few years, I left for school, deleted my old account, and stopped thinking about him. But when I came back around 2018, guess who was still around? Only now he had leveled up his game. He started calling himself Michael J. Jackson, claiming to be the original Michael Jackson of IMVU. No longer pretending to be Michael Jackson, but still milking the name. He partnered with a talented creator who made meshes for him, and he went around bragging about working with all these IMVU companies, including one run by a friend of mine. Here's the kicker. He told people he worked for QJJ, but I've been with QJJ for years, and trust me, that's a lie. None of those companies ever existed on IMVU. He was just listing off the real-life companies Michael Jackson actually owned. He even claimed IMVU featured him as the official MJ, which never happened. He bragged about having Prince and James Brown avatars too, but there were barely any products for that. Everything about him was smoke and mirrors. I think after my friend Talented Kamardi dropped that video, the Michael Jackson of IMVU, which he says he regrets titling it, that a lot of people started fighting for the title and he saw his chance to shine. But he didn't expect me to come back. I started warning people again. Eventually, he confronted me in my own chat room. For context, I also work as a creator. Now, I admit I re-uploaded some old MJ items people missed, and after clearing it with the right folks, most were thankful I brought them back. Even his mesh creator didn't mind. But he did. He came into my room under a new name, MJJ, and tried to expose me as a liar, while he was the biggest one of all. Then, like always, he dipped before I could say anything. Later, I reached out to his mesher friend Darwin, who confirmed a lot about how difficult this guy was to work with. Darwin and I ended up collaborating, and honestly, huge shout out to him for his amazing work. I'll add his socials down below and in the video, if you want something made. As of now, MJJ hasn't been active. Some say he gave his account away and later took it back. Others think he's just hiding behind another name. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised either way. At the end of the day, this whole situation wasn't just about one faker. It's about how far people will go online for attention, power, or control. IMVU has always had its role players, but MJ believes 777, MichaelJackson, or MJJ, whichever name he chooses next, took it to another level, building an empire out of lies and manipulation. But here's the thing, the truth always finds its way back to the surface. No matter how many usernames someone hides behind, their actions always expose them. The IMVU community might be virtual, but the friendships, the drama, and the lessons, those are very real. So to anyone watching, stay sharp, trust your instincts, and remember, not everyone online is who they claim to be. If you run into this situation, remember this. If Michael Jackson truly faked his death and is in hiding, why would he come onto a widely popular chatting site? Use his initials and/or name in his username. Dress his virtual avatar up to look like him, and tell people he's really Michael but tells complete strangers to keep his secret? If none of it makes sense, you're definitely dealing with a fraud. Thanks for watching and listening to this crazy story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like. Share your own wild IMVU experiences in the comments. And of course, subscribe for more stories and MJ tribute content. I'm Mr. Escape. Stay safe, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one.